I think that, we do so much online in our school now. That's been a massive shift for us over the last 3 years. I don't like to say it, but it has been because of COVID. Even prior to that, we were always very committed to our digital safety, digital wellbeing, and ensuring that our students are understanding what they can contribute online, get from being online, but also how to do that in the safest way possible. So we do prioritise that quite heavily here. We're always monitoring what our kids are doing on their screens in the classroom, be that through using external programs. We used to do it through something called Hapara, and that's how we used to monitor the kids' screens, but it didn't give us enough information on what the kids were doing. And once COVID sort of hit, we saw and had lots of emails from parents, lots of phone calls, and all of that to say that they were concerned with how much their children were online. We noticed a pattern, I guess, a little bit more of kids maybe not staying on what they should have been staying on. And perhaps, we had a few instances of kids sending each other emails or messages or, finding other ways to communicate with each other. And that opens up, I guess, a realm for a range of different problems, but also just a range of different ways that kids could get off task. We were encouraging them to leave the platform of our Google Meets and explore the web a little bit more, but we had no way to control what they were doing. So I can be sitting there with a group of students who need some extra support or extra extension or just a group of kids that I want to work with, and the rest of my class can be off on their devices, and I don't feel the need anymore to stand up, walk around, rove around, look at their screens, worry that they're going to change the screen and use all of the shortcuts to show me that, they're doing what they should be doing. Whereas I can just sit with that group, have Classwize up on my laptop, monitor what they're doing, send them a message if they're not on task, rather than calling it out in front of the rest of the class, which I don't think supports their well-being fully all the time. So we often, I love using that feature. I love that I can be out of the classroom and they could be with a relief teacher, for example, on a planning day when we're out of the class and we've got a CRT in there. I can have them on my screen while I'm doing my planning and say, okay, these kids aren't on task. I'll send them a message, and they're so responsive to it. They'll do it straight away because they know that we're watching. And when you bring it up with them later, they say, I know, I'm sorry. And, you don't even really have to have that conversation. They know. I have noticed a reduction in, I guess, kids being a bit more distracted or traveling off and doing things that they know that they shouldn't be doing because they know that we're there to support them, I guess. I think that there's the need for that ability to say, okay, we know that this child is experiencing this at the moment. Maybe we need to restrict them just that little bit more and monitor them a bit more closely so that it's not filtering down to those other kids that it could be harmful for their well-being. So it's that recognition of, whilst something may not be harmful for one child, they're researching in the classroom or something, if they're looking things up or going onto different sites or playing games or whatever that might be, can be harmful for other kids who haven't had that exposure or haven't had that conversation and communication, I guess. So, as a school, we would look at that very carefully if we were ever in that situation.